Well, hello, friends. I'm Tess.
And I'm Corrie.
And we are sitting here across a dining room table doing a podcast.
Starting today.
And it is lovely.
It is lovely. A lovely place to start.
Yes. So, why don't we share a little bit about ourselves?
That sounds great, Tess.
Okay.
Let's do that. What's your name?
I'm Tess, and I am a mother of 3, a wife to only 1. And my husband, Daniel, and I have been married for almost 12 years. And we've lived in California, and we've lived in Oregon, and now we live in Washington, Southwest Washington. And we have 2 boys, 9 and 7, and 1 girl that's 1 year old. And I'm very thankful to have a girl because she kind of evens things out a little bit. Although she might not when she gets older. But let's see. A little bit about me. I like to read books. That's probably one of my favorite things. And I like to watch movies. And I like to learn new things. So I like learning about, well, pretty much all the things. I like to learn about anything. But I love learning about psychology and the way our bodies work and the way things work in general. I think that's really fun. And I like numbers and puzzles and games and things like that. I love playing Minecraft with my kids. I find that to be like a fun creative outlet, which I never knew that I needed before I played it. And it helps me because sometimes with 3 kids, 2 of them being boys, life is chaotic. And I feel like when I play Minecraft, I can like make things a little bit more in order. Mm-hmm. And I can build something. And as long as the kids aren't playing in my immediate space, it might stay built for a little while.
They won't bring the TNT to explode right. Your house that you built.
But Jackson, my 7-year-old, does enjoy coming to live with me in Minecraft, in my Minecraft house. So instead of building his own house.
Does he bring his bed?
Sometimes, but most of the time he steals mine and my food. Yes. So that's fun. And I love personality tests and learning like different ways to like learn about people and how people work and what makes people tick. So I find that very enjoyable. What about you, Corrie?
Thank you, Tess. That was a lovely thing. I don't know. I guess I'm just nervous, so that's why I'm saying it like that. My name is Corrie Ainley, and my husband, Stefan, and I have moved to Spokane 6 months ago now. Yay. I used to live in Battleground next to Tess. Is that too much information?
No, I think that's okay. Just roll with it.
My address is, and my phone number. Okay, so we have 1 son, who's 5.5. We have a baby in heaven. If you meet me in person, most likely I'll have pearls and a ponytail. And I love Jesus since I was 7. I love learning lots of new things. When I was little, I didn't like to read. Now I like to read more books. My friend Tess here, sitting across the table, loves books and inspires me to read more. And then, what else did you say?
What kind of things make you laugh? Or
being nervous.
Being nervous makes you laugh. What I know about Corrie is that you're very friendly and welcoming, and you help people, like everybody around you, feel really welcome.
Thank you.
And I was thinking of that. So today we went to a Christmas event at her church, and she was doing a great job of just helping people to like be seen and getting their name and knowing things about their story, which is part of the reason why I love Corrie.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So I want to hear a little bit about why you like podcasts. So, I mean, part of the reason we're doing a podcast is because we like podcasts. So why do you like podcasts?
Well, I like podcasts since you told me about them. When we lived in Battleground and we were going to the same church, we started a Real Moms group to get together and talk about what was going on in our life. And so we were listening to the Don't Mom Alone podcast, and I was asking, does anybody want to listen to this or not? Or should we just talk about stuff? And so then the ladies were like, yeah, let's do the podcast. And I'm like, okay, how am I supposed to listen to this? So then there were some ideas of listening while doing the dishes or cleaning the bathroom. So then once I got into finding an app on my phone and figuring out how to listen, then I just got hooked, and I loved information and getting to know different people on the podcasts and learning what other moms and women and what people's experiences and stories were. So then as we've been friends and gotten to know each other and shared our stories, then I feel like I'm a better mom, better wife, better follower of Jesus. And I like that and share what I've learned so other people can benefit from other people's experiences.
Yeah.
But holding space for their stories. So that's my guess, is my heart of sharing my story, listening to your story.
That's good. I like that. So I've been listening to podcasts. I think the Don't Mom Alone podcast was probably my first. And I remember it was when Jackson was, I think, 1 or 2, that I started to feel really like alone as a mom, you know, and pretty depressed. And so I was looking for something to help me with that. And I decided to look at podcasts, and I don't know if someone mentioned it to me or not, but I looked it up, and it was kind of a way, you know, during nap times or doing dishes to feel like I was actually not necessarily accomplishing something, but being wise with my time instead of just always listening to music or like watching a movie or something, but actually like a way to learn and, you know, be using my time wisely. And so I started listening to them, and it kind of just became this thing that I really enjoy. I love that I can hear other people's perspectives and that it's free. Like I don't have to buy a bunch of things, you know, I can just listen to something, and, that I can like hear different perspectives. You know, I can listen to there's so many different things you can hear on podcasts. And so I enjoy that because there's always going to be someone out there that's more knowledgeable and more experienced than me. And so I feel like it's important to like learn from them. You know, we don't always need to reinvent the wheel. And I think that God gives us resources to use that help us in our lives. So I think that's why I started listening to podcasts, and I've just kind of loved them ever since then, you know? And I'm the type of person that I think I learn things best when I share them with other people and when I talk about it with other people, because then I remember it, and instead of it just going into my brain and kind of staying there, it's able to come out, and then it helps me to process through things and remember them a little better. So, so I like to share them with other people.
Well, I'm excited because then we get to talk together and share our experiences, and then we're having a conversation, and whoever is listening to this, whenever you do, then you get to be a part of this moment, this lovely place.
Yes. Oh, that's great. Yes. So that's a little bit about us and why we like podcasts. So what are we hoping for anyone who might listen to this? Maybe the one listener or the 2 listeners, our husbands. What do you think we would want people to get out of our podcast if they were to listen? Or what are we hoping to get out of this? I guess I kind of shared a little bit. Like, I learn better when I share it with other people. So I might hope that I can remember better the lessons that God is teaching me by sharing those with other people. And then I can come back and listen to it if I need to hear it a different day, you know?
Yeah. I just
What
wrote
about
down
you?
sharing conversations with my friend Tess and sharing what Jesus is teaching me, and in telling you, just like what you just said, then I can hear it in a different way. I believe I'm a audible learner, as I'm like to talk to myself all the time. So now I'm talking to you on the podcast.
So I think one of the things that I guess pushed me forward into this thing, because I've been thinking about it for a long time. Well, the first thing is you. Like, I think our conversations help me a lot and are encouraging and uplifting. So I'm like, well, why wouldn't other people want to hear that? But I also think I've been listening to the Being Known podcast with Kurt Thompson, Dr. Kurt Thompson, right?
And Pepper.
And
Don't
Pepper
forget
Sweeney.
Pepper.
They're very good friends. And they talked about vulnerability. And Kurt said something that he said, you know, vulnerability is interesting because sometimes for one person to be able to step out in vulnerability, they have to see someone else do it first. And I'd never thought about that before. And so oftentimes, I guess I think that I want to do something, but then I kind of push it off because I think, oh, it's not that important, or it doesn't matter really that much. But I think that maybe God was reminding me that maybe me stepping out in vulnerability and doing something that's scary might inspire someone else to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. And maybe might help my kids see that they can do things that are scary and big and like unknown, and that it's okay and that it's good to be brave. So,
Yes, because I remember we were talking on the phone and we were talking about it, and it was kind of like a joke for a second. And then all of a sudden, you're here at my house, and there's microphones, and we're sitting at the table. What?
yes. And trying to come up with names and taglines and all the things. And that's just fun, but silly, but fun.
Yes, fun.
Okay. Well, so our thoughts moving forward were that maybe we would start out with, since we both love books and we both love learning, that we would start out with reading a book together, not out loud on the podcast, but reading it, and then talking about it and kind of connecting where the books that we read intersect with our journey with Jesus and how they've helped us in our lives to be better moms and better wives and better Christians and whatever. Not that life's all about being better, but, you know, like allowing God to shape us into the people that he wants us to be. And so we've talked about reading our books and then bringing it back to how that's connected to our lives and connected us more to Jesus and helped us. What do you think? Does that sound good?
Yes, I think so. I'm trying. It's so hard to listen, like actively listen, but then I'm like, wait, she's gonna want me to talk about something, and then I'm like, I'm not ready to talk. So
ready.
I just feel like I'm not sure how this works yet, but I'm excited to learn with you and learn with Jesus. I don't mean to say that's not a question. Yes, I do learn with Jesus. So
Yes.
that's what
So that's our plan.
okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Yes.
So what that will look like, we don't know. But if you want to join us, we'd love for you to listen. And we'll let you know how to contact us in
Later.
our show notes at a later time.
After you give me my address.
TMI. All right. Thanks for listening, friends.
Thank you for listening, friend.
Signing off.